Hello, everybody. This is your intrepid correspondent, Dr. Lena from Australia. And I thought we'd kick off today with, we forget about the good news, because there's always an avalanche of something else, but some positive things are coming out here, and I'm beginning to see a bit of pushback. You guys are letting me know stories too, which is really important. So in Dallas, the City Council has said they are not going to use the city's resources to investigate or persecute anyone looking for a termination or anyone doing the procedure. They're just going to make it priority zero. Dallas, just saying. And I found this one quite amazing. Nebraska has a GOP incumbent governor, Pickett or somebody. He's whining because he couldn't find enough Republicans to sign off on a 12-week ban. Isn't that interesting? They're jumping up and down in public and then they don't turn up for the vote. So, and I want a big shout out before I get fully into this reading. One of my viewers has said she travels around, she has a box of registration to vote forms in her car at all times, and she sallies forth and bails people up and says, are they registered? Would they like help registering? Good on you. I think this is the future, right? Everyone's got to do their little bit, whatever that looks like. But, I can't help but laugh. The 911 call on Lauren Boebert and her very, very distinguished husband. I mean, harassing the neighbours, driving them insane. And on the 911 call, the operator's going, are they armed? And the caller's going, it's the Boeberts, like. I mean, she makes Sarah Palin look like an intellectual giant. Anyway. So there's lots of things happening. But first off the rank, there's Rick Perry and Scott Perry. And I thought, what's going on with the Perrys? All right, so we have to have a look here because Rick Perry, he was the Secretary of Energy 2017 to 2019. And his text to Mark Meadows have proved to be a revelation. So things are not looking marvelous. Let's have a look at Rick Perry. And then we may or may not get to Scott Perry. We'll see what's happening here. So, Rick Perry. Mark Meadows, he's been skating under the radar. He has to be talking. We might have a look at him. Okay, Rick Perry. Look, don't have to go any further, I think. Beloved, intrepid viewers. Look, we've been seeing these cards for years, have we not? And finally, we're starting to see the legal catch-up with stuff that has been unfolding over a number of years. And this is a classic. It's just all swords. The Justice card. Revenge. Throwing caution to the wind. What is he going to say when he's nailed? Because he's wedged between justice and the Queen of Swords, also justice, justice. It's like he's going to race to throw someone else, not under the bus. We now say throw them off the jetty. But he's racing there. So they're all swords cards for Rick Perry. And El Diablo, the devil. So this says speed to me. After so much chain dragging that's gone on judicially, he has, I think, some valuable information. Swords are also communication information. So let's leave those cards there and ask about his text to Mark Meadows. Tell us a bit more about Rick Perry's role. What's his role? Who's he going to spill the beans on? No shortage of candidates. Okay, let's have a look. Well, he is going to flip. That much I think we can be pretty certain about. The spy in the camp. He has a plan, the Two of Wands, the strategy about the spy in the camp, because he doesn't want to go to jail. He wants to move away from that particular threat. So it seems like there are more and more and more and more subpoenas coming forward. And that means I think we're right on the cusp now with the J6 stuff coming back and all of that. We're right on the cusp of, let's hope, a domino fall. You know how you see those wizards at dominoes sometimes where they have 10,000 domino pieces and one goes over and they create a pattern, like that. I think as we move through August and September, we're going to see the dominoes crashing forward, probably making dollar signs, So not looking good for Rick Perry. I could read on Scott Perry, but he's boring. So let's move on. Oh, Barney Willis in Georgia. Now, apart from Lindsey Graham has been told he has to testify. He's been doing hopscotch, jumping around, trying to avoid it. He'll have to testify. But the new thing is Giuliani. She's now announced Giuliani is a target. Until now, Giuliani has been asked to testify as a material witness. And now she's just unveiled the statue and said, whoops, let's just be crystal clear. You're a target, Giuliani. So let's have a look at that. I think what I want to know is Giuliani, and I think I can safely say without a disclaimer, he might have a drinking problem, i.e. hasn't been sober since 1974, that sort of drinking problem. But what I want to know is he as mad as he looks and sounds now, or is he faking it to avoid jail in the future and he can just go into, some well-appointed facility in the Cayman Islands or something? So Giuliani, has he lost it or is he faking it? That's, I think, the only relevant thing here. Giuliani, now a target in Georgia. This could be why, even though he was raided, he wasn't charged, because, again, they must be queuing up. The DOJ must be queuing up with these same people and going, well, we've got 3 cases, you've got 14 cases, we've got 12 cases, which one goes first? I think that's the only reason. And I think they let her go first. That's my feel on that. So Giuliani, too far gone or faking? Oh, God, you wouldn't want these cards. You really would not want these cards. Oh, I just had a wave. I almost felt sorry for him for a nanosecond, but don't worry, it'll pass. I'll cope. Okay. Giuliani, stealing, getting away with stuff. So to me, the answer for the question is right there. I think he is pretty far gone, but not as far gone. He's playing crazy. Emotionally, he's overwrought completely. This can be happy days, but it can just as easily be tears. He's actually completely emotionally overwhelmed. I think his lawyers made him an offer he didn't want, right? And this could have been doctor's advice, lawyer's advice, family advice, some sort of advice. Julie, look, just pretend you're crazy and they can't do anything too awful. I don't think he was impressed with that because this is a man with a huge ego. But he felt he had no choice. And so he's going forward with this in mind. I think he's actually faking it. He's not as mad as he appears. Mad, bad, or ugly, all of the above, but not that crazy. Okay, naughty. Okay. Now, so much going on. Sorry, let me just check my list again. I've been asked a lot about Brittney Griner in Russia. She got 9 years. Something. I suspect the problem is this has come at a very bad time for anyone who needs diplomatic support because there's so much going on in all different countries that not much attention gets paid. So we'll have a quick look at Brittney Griner. Why would you have vape stuff in your luggage when you're going through Russian airport? I mean, anyway, she did, and she doesn't deserve 9 years jail for that. So we'll just have a look at Brittney. And before you write to me, I know there are other prisoners as well, but this is the one I've been asked about for now. Quick look for Brittney. Well, I think now it's easy for me to say not from a jail cell, but I think she's starting to, even though, of course, you know, you would be so upset and, you know, you can't find the words, but I think this is suggesting to me, holding things close to her chest, she's found a way to deal with it on some day-to-day level. You know, institutionalization in any institution takes hold and your world narrows down to that place. And so within that place, she's securing a few things. That could be as simple as getting shampoo or tampons and things like that, you know, like she's coping. But there is conflict about what to do. I think this is with Biden et al., what to do about Brittney Griner. So they're assessing their options, but they're not really clear how to go forward. For now, she will remain incarcerated. Crossroads, a decision will be reached. To me, that would suggest something like a prisoner swap at some point, and the Russians will get someone back in exchange for Brittney. Hopefully that's what it means. You know, certainly before 9 years is up. Oh, God. Yeah. So, in other good news, Salman Rushdie, I'm sure you would have seen, who was stabbed on stage in New York because a fatwa was put out on him, must have been 25 years ago, and he was stabbed in the neck. He's probably going to lose an eye, but he's talking again and he is recovering. And here's the irony. This is what happens when you ban books. You know, so his book, Satanic Verses, which was banned, unread by the mullahs, it's sold out again. It's selling millions more copies than it ever did. So let's hope, given that so few people read anymore, let's hope with the book burning in these red states that a small percentage of people become curious. I haven't read a book. Maybe I'll read a book, This one's banned. Maybe it's got some juicy bits. We can only hope, Okay, so now, Kevin McCarthy, he's awful, but he's powerful. He's not as powerful as McConnell, but he's pretty powerful. And he is the one who threatened Garland here after the authorised search. So Kevin McCarthy, let's have a look at him, because it's tempting to just pass him over. He's on my list all the time, and I always go to someone who's a bit more interesting. Maybe we're missing something with Kevin McCarthy. Maybe he's secretly interesting. I doubt that very much. He's a bit like, not Rand Paul. Who was the other one? Paul Rand, the one who resigned when Trump first got elected. I can see. He's a bit like one of those. Yeah, it's not like some of those macho drongos that go out and shoot up a neighbourhood. He's not like that. He's more like the testicles in Suits brigade. Let's see, Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House. What dirt can we find on Kevin McCarthy? Is there something we don't know? Is there something we need to know? Oh, well, look, with him, there's all this secretive behaviour, sneaky stuff going on here. He is ruthless. Do not doubt that. So this is where the GOP have shot themselves in the foot by aligning themselves with the worst of. They have to keep outshining each other and proving, I can be worse than you. I can be more vicious than you. I can be more heartless. You haven't seen, groveling to Trump until you've seen my groveling to Trump, right? He threatened the head of the Department of Justice. It's outrageous. He's a manipulator. He has financial things to cover up. Here's the high priestess. This is my card of dark money and other things being done. He's what we call in Australia a whip, and they get the numbers. McConnell is sort of a master whip. Okay, they make sure how many people are going to vote on this thing, that thing, and the other thing. They get the numbers. This is about numbers. However, not far away, he has his very own towel moment. So I think, well, hopefully in the midterms, there'll be a clean sweep of a lot of these people. However, I think it's this that's going to bring him undone. I think, when you think of the GOP people who may or may not have had donations from Russia, let's call it that, he doesn't turn up in your head. You don't think, oh, what's Kevin McCarthy up to? But I think he's more sinister than he looks. Okay, now, let's have a look here. Let's see if Trump is going to announce his run soon. We have to keep an eye on this issue. It's unheard of to announce a run 2 years out from an election, but nothing's normal with the Yeti. In his little mini Yeti brain, once he says he'll run, he thinks it'll protect him legally. That's dubious at this stage because he's really taken legal land into a whole new dimension, a brave new world of legal. So it's doubtful it will have that effect. But what it has to do is split the party. And I'm secretly, I will admit this, viewers, I'm secretly waiting for the Yeti DeSantis showdown. Hopefully it's mad, mutually assured destruction. You'd have to hope, wouldn't you, really? But let's have a look. Is he going to run or is he going to announce his run? Now, the CPAC have said if he announces before the midterms, they will not fund his legal bills. So let's see, will he run? Will he announce it? Let's check on this. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. He gets the ruthless card. We know that. He hasn't made up his mind. He has not made up his mind. We were laughing the other day on Jen Lynn's channel with Johnny and Becca with Geminis. And Johnny can comment because he is a Gemini. So if you ask him in the morning, he's going to call his run. If you ask him in the afternoon, no, he's going to wait. If you ask him in the night, he'll say he's not sure. He'll get back to you tomorrow. It's like that. Right? This is hugely important, not just to Trump, not just to GOP, to America and consequently the world. Because when and how he calls his run to happen will have repercussions. Okay, so just quickly here, because I want to talk about something else. Yes, he's got the ruthless card, but this is him enjoying keeping the GOP dangling. Right. He knows he's still got a base, but this is him getting pleasure in that. However, his obstacle is loss, 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 bit of grief and a bit more loss, loss. Spy in the camp has turned up again. Who is the spy in the camp? Well, again, if you had a toilet with spy on the camp people only in here, you'd have a queue for that toilet, wouldn't you? Really? I mean, I could spend the next hour and a half eliminating potentials for spy in the camp. But I think that's what's driving him the most crazy at that moment, that thing of not knowing who to trust, and he can't trust anybody. So that's awesome. Okay, now, what I want to talk about here for a minute is people are obviously worried about the violence, the potential violence that's happening with the MAGA files, okay, and Cincinnati going into the FBI, the receptionist shot with a nail gun. And I'm going to say it, it could have been worse. Isn't that terrible? Who'd sit there saying it could have been worse? That's shocking. That is shocking. But at least she wasn't splattered against the wall with an AK-47. So this is where America's at. Now, I think what, dear intrepid viewers, you've got to keep in mind, already the gun violence in America is way out of control, even if there wasn't another Yeti scandal on board, right? It's a problem everywhere. So you have to be really careful, really onto it wherever you go at all times. Having said that, the reactions, I think, I'm reluctant to say petering out because they'll gear up again probably going into the midterms, but you can't let fear paralyze you. The country, individual citizens of the country have been at risk for so many decades, and more so in the last 10 or 15 years or whatever. So it's a matter of being strong, being sensible, you know, and please, please, please look after yourselves. You know, you guys are really important to me, and this work is an absolute privilege. So don't let this abstract thing go for it. I think, just before I finish, I think what's important is with these attacks on the FBI, it at least means the FBI have to be really alert and onto it before the midterms. So I think there will be better provisions of security than would have been otherwise. Do not panic. Stay calm and carry on. The country's in your hands. Blessed be. Love you guys. Bye.